This is an Off the Tongue podcast.
Here we go again.
Take two. Here we go again on this podcast.
This is the It's Funny That Makes It Okay podcast. I am Doug.
I am Greg.
And this is Mike.
And we are getting ready to start another show end of March. We have got quite the show for you today. We've got a couple Would You Rathers, a giant baby doll. We're going to talk about bad public behavior and some changes with DoorDash.
We should have it started with what we were talking about before we went live about being old and having aches and pains. That's riveting podcast.
That is
stuff.
riveting podcast. That is.
Back aches, knee hurting, all those things.
That's a multi-part podcast.
Yes, it is.
Or some people say that's all you guys do is complain about being old. But
yes.
There's a lot to complain about.
Yes, there is.
But we're not going to do that today.
No, we're not.
So let's just jump right in. Greg, take it away.
All righty. Well, hold it. Where did my other... Oh, there it is. All right. So
one of the bad things about getting older is you forget things. And
where did it go? It was on my phone.
You don't know how to work technology. All kinds of fun things.
No, we've talked before about things that we used to use that we don't use anymore because of technology.
Oh, I'm glad you threw that in there. I'm like, are we talking body parts? What are we doing?
Well,
because that list is
technology.
That list grows every year. Well, there's another thing I don't use anymore. Cross that one off the list.
Did technology wipe that out?
Sometimes.
But no, I was just wondering, there are things you can think of that, we used to use, but due to technology, we don't really use them anymore.
I'm going to... You sprung it on me, so I got to think about it.
Yeah, I've got one particular
Go right
item.
ahead, because I can't.
Well, Lori and I were watching TV the other night, and we were trying to figure something to watch. And while we were trying to figure something to watch, I landed on Love Boat. And so we watched a few episodes of Love Boat.
Is this when you were at our house, or was that?
Yes. we were over watching our new
Full disclosure,
grandbaby.
my wife and I watch Love Boat on Pluto TV for free. They got a Love Boat channel, so I do still watch Love Boat.
Have you ever noticed something on there that they use frequently that we don't use much anymore?
Wow, I got to think. I don't know.
It just struck me funny as we were watching it. Clipboards.
Oh.
We do not use clipboards much anymore. And that used to be, I was watching and
We still use it at work for inventory.
Well, I guess we do.
Inventory, we had the clipboard.
Because I was watching and Julie, the hostess? Cruise director. Yeah, she's got one, checking people in when they walk on the boat. I was looking, there was a guy in the background. He had one.
Gopher has one.
Gopher's
People
carrying around
in.
a clipboard. And I was thinking about when I worked at Walgreens.
Anyone under the age of 50 are like, why does a gopher have a clipboard? No one knows what we're talking about.
Yeah, Love Boat. You got to look it up.
We have lost a lot of audience.
Yes. But even I was thinking about, I used to work for Walgreens and I was a store manager. And anytime the district manager would walk in, first thing you do is grab your clipboard, follow him around, make notes while he's, reaming you a new one for something not being out of stock.
Doodle him as the devil, putting horns on him.
Yeah. So not a big deal, but I don't know. It was funny to watch because I bet 5 people had clipboards in the episode I was watching.
Do you remember the address? It wasn't a book. It was like a device. It was a metal usually, and you would shut it, and it would have the alphabet on the outside, A through Z, with a little slide and an arrow. You could slide it to the M. You'd hit the button, and it would open up to the M.
Yeah, directory.
You'd shut it, and then you could slide it to the D's. You'd press it, and so that would open what page you were going to.
Yeah, and you'd have your list
D's
of phone numbers and addresses for that letter of the alphabet.
I thought that was so cool. I had one.
They were cool. You'd press the tab and boom.
Look at that. I can slide right down to W. Boom. I'm in the W.
We were so easily entertained.
Well, we didn't have anything to compare to.
Yeah.
Either that or I'm looking through the phone book like an idiot.
Yeah.
So I don't want to do that. Mike, you may be a little too young to really, but maybe not. I don't know. But phone books, obviously, are gone. All these things are gone. I put a post out on our Instagram page of things that were in your grandparents' homes that probably are not in yours.
I bet a clipboard was in there.
No, it wasn't a clipboard, but I had things like a rotary phone,
Yeah.
probably not in there, telephone book. How about a box of envelopes? That was staple. We have a box of envelopes in our homes.
I got a box of envelopes right over there.
Wow, look at that. But I bet a lot of people don't keep a box of envelopes at home.
Well, you never know when you need
Mike,
emergency
we
mail
do.
something.
You guys do?
Yeah.
Okay. What about a jar of change?
We do. We got many
I think
jars.
that is something
Yeah.
that is going away too. Well, just money in general, because everything is just,
Yeah.
digital. So I had the jar of change.
Yeah, we've got many jars of change.
How about the big box with all kinds of batteries in it?
Yes.
Because things are they're rechargeable now that most people don't.
Yeah.
There's still some. You need batteries for the remotes,
Yeah.
possibly.
Ours aren't in a box. Ours are in the packages they come in, and they're stacked in
we
the
had a
drawer.
battery-
Ours are in the
battery-
boxes stacked. Ours are in the container stacked in a box,
Are they?
condensed into one box.
We had a battery holding box that had
Yeah.
the holes for the different D's,
Ooh,
C's.
Well, now-
fancy.
That was a gift from Menards one year.
Is it the
Yes.
battery? The battery daddy?
Yes. I don't know if that's what it's called, but it's like that. It even had a battery tester in it that broke right away, but
Oh, of course.
you could put it in there and it'd tell you. But I was just trying to think. Those are some things kind of the same vein that are gone now or going away. Just because you don't need them. You don't have to have them.
Nope. So the other thing, completely unrelated, is I was looking at sports, and so the Tennessee Volunteers.
I thought you said sporks.
No,
Oh,
sport,
okay.
yeah, KFC sports. No, no, the Tennessee Volunteers. They had a player set a new record this week. You know what it would be?
Is it for basketball?
Nope.
I heard this. I'm trying to think what it was. I did hear him talking about this on the radio. Now I cannot remember.
I don't know how to give you a hint.
Yeah,
But anyways,
just say
it's softball. And I found out the Tennessee Volunteers hold a record in softball and a record in baseball for the same position. And it's the pitcher. This girl threw a 78.2 mile an hour fastball from
Wow.
43 feet away. They said that's the equivalent of a 109 mile an hour fastball in baseball from 60 feet, I think, baseball. Or
I'm not sure.
90 feet. I don't know. But 78.2 miles an hour from 40 feet, 43, 40, but somewhere in that distance.
Wow.
Just popped it in there. Well, then come to find out they've got their baseball. They had a baseball pitcher who set the college baseball pitching record. I think his was 109 miles an hour.
Man.
Baseball. So I don't know. I was just impressed. This school, both pitchers hold collegiate records for fastest
Must be something in the water or the food they're feeding them something.
in Tennessee.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I was impressed. I was watching the play, and she just, man,
That whiskey, that Tennessee whiskey.
Tennessee whiskey. So didn't really have anything more. Both my girls played travel softball. So it was always fun when you saw a pitcher who could really, pop the ball in there like that. It's just impressive. Many years ago, we got to go over to Bloomington and watch the U.S. Olympic softball team. Talk about a precision machine, man. Those girls, very impressive to watch them play. So I don't know. I didn't feel there was a whole lot to talk about with it. I just wanted to bring it up.
Yeah,
I was impressed with it.
It was impressive.
Yeah. So cool.
All right, was that it?
Move on.
Mike, you didn't have anything, right? All
Let's
right.
move on to the dolls.
Well, we're going to actually, would you rather?
Oh, that's right. You had that in there.
A couple of those. One was from my wife. She heard and asked me, and I was like, that's interesting. This was kind of, they were talking about introverts and extroverts, and they had this question on the radio. It says, would you rather have to go to 10 parties in one weekend? So Saturday, Sunday, 10 parties.
It's a lot of partying.
Or you're confined to your room completely alone for the entire weekend. Now, we need to put some qualifiers on it because there's a little bit of an argument. I would say like the parties have to be, you could break them up 5 on Saturday, 5 on Sunday, but they're like 2 hours a pop. It's an all day thing, and you don't get to pick the. I mean, it's just, well, you're invited. You go. It could be good, could be bad. Could be you going to just shake hands, meet people. I'm not saying that it's like your buddies, like, hey, we're going to have a party, but it's all day. So it's an all day thing. Saturday and Sunday, it's all day. But I also think if you stay home, that we need to take everything away from you. You don't get a radio or a screen, or because that's not. I mean, otherwise, like, yeah, I'll just stay home. That would be mine. I'll be like, I'll stay home and I will listen to podcasts and veg out and do. I think you have to just sit in silence in your room. I mean, and that's it. You can. I mean, it's just no one else, just you, the entire weekend. So kind of the two extremes. I don't know. Don't you think? I mean, I think
no screens.
I think that's what you got to do, right? We got to go extreme 1, extreme 2. So where are you going?
So no screens.
We'll start with the oldest.
Well, see, easily I was going to go alone, but then you threw in the nothing.
Well, that's why I wanted to do that.
So you
because
can't
I would
read.
Do that too. No,
you
let's
can't-
say there's no books, no nothing. It's just you and a 40-watt bulb on a mattress in your bedroom.
I'm going to the parties then.
Yeah.
Because I can't. That's if I could listen to music or I could have my screen of some sort, TV, phone, something. I could easily do it.
Yep.
But since you took those away from me, I got to go to the party.
See, I'm the same way. I'm taking the parties too. I only because I don't want to just. I don't mind. I could sit there by myself.
I'd feel like Putty on
Yes,
Seinfeld.
I could do it.
Just sitting there staring at the wall.
But for the weekend, I'd be like, yeah. You want something to read? No, I'm good. You're just going to sit there and stare straight at, yeah. But I think I would rather at least get out and do something on the weekend, run around. And I'm not a big party guy, but it's like I can get
That's
along.
a lot of partying, though.
I can get along pretty much anywhere.
Yeah. That is a lot, though.
It is.
Because the same stipulation applies at the party.
Well, yeah, you have
can't
no-
go sit on the couch and watch a TV or anything.
No.
You got to interact the whole time.
And it may be with people that are completely 180 degrees out of phase with you.
I'm going to laugh when it's like a frat party and you're just like, you're stuck at the frat party.
Yeah.
for the
all
weekend.
the frat bros. So I'm taking the party as
Yeah,
well.
I got to.
Oh man, give me solitary. I'm taking solitary. I'm doing it. I just can't. I can't do that much interaction. I mean, I'm good for like maybe 1 or 2 a day, but that's it. I can't go beyond that.
It's a lot. It would be a lot.
It would be a lot.
At that point, I'd be begging. I was like, just put me in the room. It's like I don't even need the bulb or the mattress. I just put me in the room. So I'm just gonna.
All right. So
I'm going with it.
we got 2 partiers and 1
Done.
stay at home.
No, I mean,
homebody. 1 homebody.
It is what it is.
All right. Well, the next one I came up with a while back specifically for Mike, but we'll answer it as well. This was inspired.
I remember you saying this.
Inspired by Mike. So I felt like we'll wait. And after the little conversation we had before the podcast started, which, you guys weren't privy to, I think this will play right into that. Would you rather have to take care of 10 babies? And I don't know how long. It's got to be for a while. It can't be for like a day. You want to go 2 months?
I don't know I don't remember exactly what the stipulation is.
10 babies for 2 months.
Okay. Versus.
What's coming the other way? Because I'm
Versus 1, but it's a giant 10-foot baby. So you got 1 giant baby or 10 regular babies. There's
2
pros
months?
and cons. 2 months. Let's go 2 months. There's pros and cons. And I tell you what, I will give you this. Since it's not just, I will say it's you and your wife. I will give you a helper. But that's it. I mean, you can't invoke the grandparents or babysitters. And it's 24 hours. Let's say you're off on vacation, in quotes.
It's coincidence that your new little one is right at 2 months.
So you have to take care of 10 or 1, but the 1 is giant. The 1 is a giant baby.
So now, am I going to work throughout the day, or is this what I'm doing all the time?
Well, I think this is your job at this
Well,
point.
I think this is when, you've had the baby and you're on leave now from work.
Okay, so I'm on leave for 2 months.
Yes, you're on
basically.
leave
Okay.
and you're home.
Yeah. So you got
Because it depends. If am I coming home to 10 or am I coming home to the giant one? Because that maybe would factor in a little bit of my decision.
But the giant one, I mean, you somehow gotta drag around those diapers when he makes boom boom in
Did
his
you say
diaper.
how giant this was?
I said about 10 foot, huge, like bigger than Shag.
So no getting in the car.
Big giant baby. Where are you going to? Yeah, you can't go. Well, let's say you do have to go. You got to take him to Walmart and get your groceries.
So Mike now owns a pickup truck.
He's got a bus. You can put the baby in the bus. You got a giant baby buggy that you can push him around.
You got things to move the baby.
Not motorized though. You got to do it.
Well, the vehicle would be motorized.
Well, yeah.
to move the baby.
And we hated grocery shopping before. Just wait.
Yes. But you got to drag this giant baby around, or you got 10 babies.
Think of the
No,
mom.
they could all be really good. They could have great sleep patterns.
Think of the mom having, well, for either case, having to pump breast milk for that many or that big.
Yeah. That's a lot of milk either way. or formula, whichever way you go.
You got to buy a lot of formula.
See, there's pros and cons because you got the one baby. That baby's going to eat a lot. The diapers are going to be, that is a nightmare in itself.
Do you make diapers that big?
Well, they would have special ones made.
Yes.
But when the giant baby goes to sleep, that's quiet time.
It's not 10 of them.
How often do you think all 10 babies are going down at one time? But they're small. They're easy to handle. They're easy to change diapers and to get things going around. So there's the conundrum. There's the question. Where are you going?
That's tough. This is really tough.
This is tough.
As much as I want to go with the singular giant baby, I can't do it. I cannot care for the giant baby, and DCFS is going to have to step in if I go that route. So, as appealing as the singular baby is to me, I have to go with the 10 because the scope of the babies, the sizes of the babies. I feel more comfortable with the size. Now, granted, there's 10, so I'm probably going to absolutely just lose my mind by the end of it. Because there's no way we're going to get any sleep at all. I mean, no way.
Yeah. And I don't know how you're going to transport 10 babies either.
No.
One of those 15-passenger vans.
Yeah. I'm not even thinking about that. I'm just thinking about it's like, we'll cross that bridge later.
Oh, see, I'm thinking about that because it's like you got to get each one ready to put in the vehicle.
Yeah.
You got 15 car seats or 10 car seats to hook up. You got,
Yeah, I don't know. I cannot fathom like wrestling the 10-foot baby for feeding, for diaper changes, for going to bed, for baths. And then when you change the diaper 5 minutes later, when they have
a
blowout in that diaper, then you got to put another one on it. And see, that's going to take you forever to do one giant baby. And then when they don't cooperate, how am I going to fight the baby to get it to cooperate?
Fight the baby.
I mean, I'm just imagining, oh, no, move your leg. Nope, not doing it. They're not doing it. So I'm going to have to go with the 10, even though, gosh, the quantity.
Baby's been fed, Mike, you need to burp it.
The quantity. I'm going to have to just become ambidextrous at that point. That's my only hope. But, yeah, that's it. I cannot do the giant baby. I just can't.
You want
Go
me
ahead.
to go? I'm going giant baby.
I've
For
got
one
mine-
reason,
I've got mine
there's
written
just
down.
one. There's just one. I know it's going to be terrible. The blow. I'm going to have to get a special shovel just to clean up the poop out of the diaper. You take the diaper off. If he decides to pee, it's going to blow me into the wall.
Nice spit up on
Spit
you.
up is going to be terrible. But when the baby goes to sleep, I have some downtime, and I can just relax.
Oh, I'm sensing your 10-foot baby's going to have colic. It's not going to be sleeping much.
Think of 10 babies with colic. I mean, it's at least the colic, when he doesn't have it, I'm good. There's a chance that rotation, you will have a baby with colic all the time. There will always be a baby with colic.
They'll be perfect.
Yeah, no, I think Mike, you already know with one, just regular baby, there's things just pop up happening, or for no reason they decide, guess what? I am going to cry. And if you get one baby crying, it's going to get all 10 babies crying right after you get them out. They're up against like, no. So I'm sticking with the one giant baby.
Did you say anything about help?
There's
Your
no
wife.
help.
There's no help.
I said
Well,
your wife.
yes.
Your
yes.
wife. So you got your wife. Okay.
There's no outside help is what I would.
Okay. Well, I wrote it down. I'm doing the 10. I'm with
Oh,
Mike.
man.
I don't want that big baby.
I can't do it.
No.
I'm sitting here right now in this chair. My back hurts so bad right now. My back's not going to feel any better with 10.
No.
But it's not going to. I feel like it's going to be worse trying to, like wrap that diaper around the giant baby, and it's just not going to
part
go.
of it with a baby is you're connecting to it. You want to hold it. The 10
The baby's holding you.
Yeah. It's like, hold me, baby.
It'll be like Papa Elf with Elf.
Yeah. No, I know you
I don't
can't
care.
hold
I
all
will
10
love my
at
giant
once.
baby. I'm not going to let you talk bad about it just because you hate giant
Oh,
people.
your giant baby's a brat.
I'll have him squash you. I'll have him sit on Uncle Craig's lap and then have a blowout. That'll teach you.
I'm doing the 10.
All right. Well, we split.
So between me and Mike, we got 20 babies to take care of.
I just got the one.
One big one.
One big baby.
A month in, we'll be calling each other. Can we switch?
Yeah. We might. We may. That would be like. All right. I'll take the 10 for a while.
And your
You'll take
wife
the one giant one, so at least you get sleep.
and your wife is going to hate you because she had to have that baby.
Well, we're saying the stork brought these babies.
I don't know.
I don't know where you think babies come from, but I was always told the stork brought them.
I think either way, your wife is not
Well,
going to
yeah,
be
10,
happy in this
10 wouldn't be
scenario.
real good either. But 10 normal size.
That's a litter.
It is.
It's a giant.
What do you know? Does anybody know what the record number? I know there's the Octomom that had 8.
That's a good question.
No, I don't.
The record number and the
We'll look
record
that up.
size. I knew a gal that had a 13-pounder.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's big. That's a big baby.
This kid was already walking. When
Was
He'd
9.
already signed to a D1 college when
Yeah.
The record is 9.
9. So we can't even do 10.
This was achieved by Halima Siesi from Mali, like
And
MALI.
what's the biggest? Because Doug's is going to outclass that.
Well, yeah. I'm going to. I might get a sponsorship.
Yeah, stickers on him.
No way. I don't know if this is true
The
or not.
diaper has got like the patches on it, like NASCAR.
STP.
Well, this is hard to believe, but this baby is huge. The heaviest birth on record for a newborn, according to Guinness Book of World Records, is 22 pounds.
Holy
Wow.
smokes! 22 pounds.
Yeah. Born to a mother in Aversa, Italy in 1955.
That's a whopper.
Woo! Hopefully that was C-section. 'Cause that's a giant baby. That's one big
Yeesh.
baby.
Yeah.
Yikes. Well, speaking of giant babies,
Nice segue.
yes. Over in England, in this town, there was something that was put in the town square. And I'm just going to, this comes to us from New York Post. Demonic 27-foot tall doll in town square terrifies locals. Never seen anything like it. And it is very off-putting. I don't like dolls anyway. So this is like nightmare fuel for me, this whole story. But it starts off, nobody puts baby in a corner. Residents in the English village of Rockdale are freaking out after a giant baby was erected in the town square with some petrified pedestrians describing the
very
installation
creepy.
as creepy. 27-foot tall toy tot named Lily features giant movable limbs and a mouth that opens and shuts like a plus-size Pinocchio. Well, it gets even weirder in my opinion. The doll was erected as part of a new campaign encouraging school children to talk about the importance of the environment. School groups will reportedly speak to Lily about their plans for looking after animals in nature. In a video posted to the Rockdale Borough Council's Facebook page, a group of school children. Let me try that again. A group of school children is seen singing "Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star" to the ginormous doll. But while the youngsters didn't seem spooked by the toy, some adults did. It says, I came around the corner and I thought, it's just creepy. Its eyes never shut. Oh, it's just creepy with its eyes shut. Never mind open. Now that's what they were saying. Yeah. Never seen anything like it. Ugliest baby I've ever seen. Third person said it's something of a 90s sci-fi comedy. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Its name is Lily. One Facebook user described the doll as demonic.
Why does the head spin around?
I don't know. Some said she reminded them of an animatronic puppet that oversees the deadly red light, green light game of the Squid Game. So, yeah, it talks to children. Hi, children. Take care of the animals and the plants and kill your parents. That's how I picture it.
Are they trying to scare the kids into saving the environment?
I don't know.
This is what I'm confused about. What does the giant baby doll have to do with the environment?
It looks like some part of like a creepy cult or something that like, everybody come and bow down to the doll.
Now, if this were like 6th grade physical education class, you know what I mean? Like, I would maybe, but this is for the environment. What does this have to do with the climate
It has
or the environment?
Nothing to do with it.
I will squash and kill you if you don't do this. I don't know. I don't know.
I don't get
to
it.
Scare people.
I picture this thing gets up during the middle of the night and walks around and looks in second floor windows.
Oh my
You're in your bed, you
gosh.
just, boom,
You just see an
boom,
eyeball looking in your
boom.
window.
Your whole house is shaking. Like it's terrible. It's frightening. I saw the picture. I heard him talking about this. I was like, this is nightmare. It's terrible. I absolutely hate it.
It's going to have its blankie and its bottle. Feed me, Doug.
I tell you what, I wouldn't do a whole lot of good for the environment because I would be out there at night and burn this thing. Like we're burning this to the ground, man. It's got to go. Lily's got to go.
At this point, I'm going to get Woody from the mall.
Woody the talking Christmas tree.
I'm going to have Woody fight this baby thing for me.
Well, at least Woody's a tree, environment, tree. Okay.
That would actually
that would
kind of
track.
make sense.
I mean,
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. So I thought with our last segment with the giant baby, this would just fit right into it.
And who came up with this idea? The board meeting sitting around the county city board. They're like, we need something to teach the kids about environment.
How about a giant baby doll?
I like it. Good idea.
And we'll make its eyes open and its mouth
You're
move.
an idea man.
Its limbs move. For the environment, though. We want it for the... it'd be for the environment. It's baby environment. It's the baby environment. Yeah, I don't get
Woody's.
it.
I'll give you as many pretzels as you want if you please come remove this thing from my
Oh,
town
my
square.
gosh. It's a
Jiminy
nightmare.
Christmas.
So, I don't know. I don't know if you had anything else really to add to that. It's just... I was like, oh,
No,
that
it's
is
very
terrible.
creepy, though.
So, all right, I want to bring up this story. This is an older story, but what it did kind of spurred a thought that I want to bring out there. So this was, I don't know, a couple months back. There was an Alaska Airlines flight attendant who was supposedly celebrating that she had just gotten off of probation for her job, because you're on a probational period when you get hired in there. So she did a twerking hype video on the plane and then posted it to her social media account, and then once it went out there, it went viral. And of course, the airlines called her in there and said, guess what? Yeah, you're fired. We can't do this. And she was upset about it and saying that she did it because just to show how proud she was and how far. Because, when I'm proud, I like to twerk.
Twerk the
I don't know
friendly
how many
skies.
times I've gotten done working on a customer's machine, and I just turn around once they run a machine. Let's run something. They run something through it, puts postage on their machine. I just turn around, I twerk my butt, just like, like, what are you doing? I'm proud, man. Woo! Twerking that butt. That's how I celebrate. That's how I show I'm proud. Is I just twerk. I twerk on the mail. That sounded bad. I
I'm
twerk on the
glad
mailing
I've never
machine.
seen this.
Twerk on the folder inserters, whatever I can fix, I'm going to twerk on it. Sometimes on the weekend, I get done with my car, fix it, I get out there and twerk on the hood.
So anything you fix or anything that goes well for you, you have to follow up with a celebratory twerk.
And I'm feeling pretty good about this podcast, so you guys might be in luck when we're done.
Yeah, no, I don't want to see it.
So anyway, my thought was, how do you feel about these people that, not just the twerking, but the TikTok videos that they'll do at work? Now, on your own time, whatever. I hate them all the way, all the time. I mean, I don't like them at all. But if it's your own time, whatever. But I don't like seeing people at work.
You've lost Mike.
I know, that's all right. You'll catch up. I don't like seeing people at
I'm
work.
waiting for the Doug twerking video.
That's only going to be on the Only Mike's page.
Yeah. Maybe it'll be a subset of the
Oh
Only
my
Mike's.
gosh.
But I don't like it when people are supposed to be at work and they're doing videos and post them on TikTok. And they had them over the last 5-6 years. Now, I get it. I'm a grumpy old man. I know. I'm Mr. Crotchety.
Except when you're twerking.
Then I'm a happy old man. Look at him twerk. Threw my hip out. Got to go to the chiropractor. What is it for your back? Too much twerking. Just too much. But no, back in during COVID, you'd have the nurses, the doctors, or you'll see the flight crew. It's like, look, I know this isn't happening, but in my mind, what I want to think is that flight crew is checking all the safety precautions, making sure that they've got enough fuel and everything's working. The stewardesses, or I guess flight attendants, I'm sorry.
Yeah, don't.
I'm not sorry. They used to be stewardesses. But flight attendants, they're stocking everything up, making sure they've got enough food and drink and everything's going to go well. If you're a doctor, you're thinking about the next patient. What am I going to do? Or reading up on the new procedure that's out there, or some new medication or therapy, or a nurse.
Maybe
If I've been
twerking's in the manual.
If I've been in the hospital and you hit the button, the nurse doesn't come. Now I'm thinking, are they busy or are they just creating a new twerking video out on the hallway? No, I'm just kidding. I know a lot of nurses. I have a lot of nurses in the family. They do work a ton, but it's like, I know that probably doesn't affect the job. I hope they're not somebody hitting the button. So I got 30 more seconds on this video, then I'll check on him. But when you see them, that is what is going to go into my mind. I also don't want to see some fast food restaurant employee doing this.
No,
It's like,
we don't want to see
just
that.
get my stuff, whatever it is, and bring it to me. Okay, enough of my old man. What are your thoughts on this? Or how do you feel about this? Am I wrong? Am I right? Am I the a-hole? We haven't done one of those. Maybe I could be the a-hole and still be right. I don't know. That's not mutually exclusive.
My very first thought on this was, again, the COVID thing, because there were so many of those hospital stories about, or videos of the nurses dancing, not even specifically twerking necessarily.
No,
but,
just dancing.
But they had the choreography dance that this is more, they were like planned. Like they had to have like coordinated with the group of the 10 of them and come up with the dance.
Well, you've seen police departments do it, or firemen.
Yeah. And that's the part
Well,
that's
I'm
like,
getting mugged. Well, at least the police department put out a nice video this week.
people are dying in the hospital and we're coming up with group dances. So
My
that's
house is on fire, but that fireman, put that twerking video up there with his pole. He has to twerk on the pole.
he probably got the best backdrop for all of them.
He probably does.
No, but that's what my first thought on this was, and I don't like it either. It's like you clock in, you're there to do your job. To me, there's not much more than that. Like that's about all there is to it.
Does it make any difference to you that she said she was on the plane 2 hours early before the pilot came on board? So
See, to me, that doesn't matter because
I'm just
you're
asking,
in your
yeah.
work attire, you're at the job site, whether someone is there with you or not. It's like you are still representing your position at your company at that time.
She could have just got up at like the hotel and did the video in her own clothes and then got dressed and went
yeah,
to
because I
work.
do think that's part of the problem too. You're in the uniform of the company you're working for. You're on their plane.
Maybe I did. I thought I prefaced by saying what you do on your own time, that's up to you. But when you're at work, I don't want you posting TikTok videos.
Well, yeah, no, but I was just saying, even on her own time, if she's got the uniform on,
Yeah, can't do that.
can't do it.
Because you're representing them.
Yes.
I agree. Even on your own time. I don't think you can do that.
I did like at the end of this story. Wait, let me see. Let me find what she said here. So she got let go, right? She got fired from the job.
Yep.
And at the end of the story, she said she started a GoFundMe because she got, I knew that would get mine.
How about go find you another job? Why don't we do that?
Well, no, she did a GoFundMe, which made $3,300. But that
Okay, I don't know what's worse: the fact that the GoFundMe existed, or the fact that she got $3,300. It was her fault.
I'm
It
more
was her
irritated at
fault.
the people that gave the money because she can put that out there fine, but if you give money, it's like then you're the problem.
It's
You're
on
the problem.
her. I get the GoFundMes where it's like, okay, there's a tragedy in something, or if somebody needs help with like medical expenses that something can't. And if you want to throw that out there and people believe your cause and go for it, but this was on her. This was her conscious
agree.
choice.
yeah.
It's a result of her
But I
actions.
thought there were rules for GoFundMe. Apparently, there's not. I can just start a
undoubtedly there's
GoFundMe with whatever.
So then she
GoFund
said-
Doug's back. What I don't even know what I'm trying to say. I've lost my whole train of thought. I started laughing. And
I thought something was. I thought we were going to get twerking lessons or something. Doug's twerking lessons.
my chiropractic bills from too much twerking. So much twerking. I've been winning so much I have to twerk all the time. Just keep winning and twerking and winning. It's a vicious circle.
But Doug's going to make them at work, though, aren't you? Is that where your twerking videos are going to be?
Yeah, I get
the
done with
postage
dishes
machines?
at home. I start. My wife's like, "What are you doing?" Winning.
Doug's going to have a T-shirt that says "Get to twerk."
That's right. Oh my gosh.
But the other thing she said at the end is she's going to use those GoFundMe finances to start her blossoming lingerie and dessert businesses. I hope those aren't
What?
together.
What?
What is going
Lingerie
on?
and dessert businesses?
Yeah. So maybe she's going to be making cookies and lingerie. I don't.
No, you're fully dressed when you're cooking. I don't want you. I'm not eating any of the
She'll be
dessert.
twerking over your cookies.
That's what I'm afraid of.
Chocolate chip twerky.
It's hard to ice those cookies when you're twerking. Like, these don't look very
Oh
good. I
my
was twerking.
gosh.
It'll be kind of like a Twinkie. It'll be called Twerkies.
Greg will be eating. He'll think
my
about. These
gosh.
are pretty good cookies. I twerked on them this morning. I twerked the crap out of those
So
cookies.
yeah, she's got a lingerie and dessert businesses. Kind of an odd pairing.
Very odd. I don't know. I wouldn't put those together. I just would not. I don't know.
I wouldn't either.
That's one of the. I'm trying to think of if you could have something that's even more. I'm sure there is, but I'm trying to have a hard time thinking of something off the top of my head that would be a more weird pairing of businesses.
That would be an odd one.
Except maybe like I don't know, a hunting guide and a vegan chef or something. I know that would be odd, but all right. So
That's just insane.
bad public behavior. I got another one. This one, I want to see if you've been guilty of this or not. Not. Let me get into it. An irate Canadian driver parked on top of a woman who was standing in a parking spot to save it.
I saw this story.
So I'm just going to unpack this a little bit and then I'll see where you're at. We've all been there, circling a lot over and over and over, waiting for a parking spot to open. Now imagine you see a car pull out and you're the next car in line guaranteed to get it. Joy! Oh, the joy. But then you see a woman run up and stand in the space. She's saving it for a relative who's a few cars back.
I was very conflicted in this story.
That's the dilemma a 40-year-old Winnipeg woman faced when she found herself confronting a rude female pedestrian saving, in quotes, said parking spot. And this Canadian driver chose violence. The driver began arguing with the woman and proceeded to drive into the stall, knocking her to the ground, the police said. Trapped under the front tire of the SUV, the woman was left behind by the driver, who showed no concern for the victim, according to police.
Gets out, shuts the door, goes into the store.
The victim had to be taken to the hospital for injuries to her lower body, and now she can't twerk for the videos, so you'll factor that into the lawsuit. Meanwhile, the 40-year-old
That's
driver
the
was
pain and
arrested.
suffering part.
It's right. And charged with assault with a weapon and careless driving. After all was said and done, you know there had to be some patient Canadian guy waiting behind these two feuding ladies, watching the madness unfold, who quietly and politely scored and coveted the parking spot when it was all over. So I just want to, what are your thoughts on this? Yay or nay? What are you thinking?
Yay or nay on what?
Well,
Which aspect?
Well, both. I don't think you can't save a spot. Like you can't get out and stand and run in the spot. You can't.
No.
I agree.
It's first come, first serve. If
Say-
your car is there, then you're in.
If the car beats me to that spot, fair game, right?
Yeah.
Like, okay,
but I can't see, like, you got the big line of, like, S lines going through and see a spot open up that's one over, but I got to drive 200 feet to the exit, and I just let my wife out, and she runs, go across and stand. It's like, no, you cannot do that.
No, you can't.
Now, little overreaction. I understand the frustration.
Oh, I do.
I would probably, if I was on the jury, if I was the judge, I would probably rule guilty. You're guilty of this, and you are fined $1 because we can't have this. And it will be on your permanent record. I don't know. Go ahead.
At the end of the day, I mean, yeah, I guess you can't just run over people. Like that's probably not a good thing. But
Although you do feel like it
I would like
sometimes.
to.
But yeah, it's like I wonder how many times this woman must have had a parking spot stolen. Where it's just like, you know what? This time I'm snapping. Like this is it. No more. I don't know.
That's a tough one. Yeah, you can't do that.
No.
Have you ever had that happen where you're pulling up to the spot, car backs out, you're there, got your blinker on, and somebody coming from the other way whips into that spot?
I had that happen last weekend at Texas Roadhouse.
I want to run into those people too.
Yep.
I don't know if I'll ever snap. I hope not.
Yep.
Doug will get out and twerk on their hood.
Oh, I know. Yeah. It won't be a celebratory twerk either. It'll be a mad twerk.
Anger twerk.
Angry. An angry twerk.
It is very frustrating, though,
It's very
when things like
frustrating.
that happen.
It is very frustrating. And I completely understand. But, you
can't run over
no.
people.
See, I want to know too if the woman who was standing in the parking spot was antagonizing the
You wonder.
the driver.
Did it say? Was there a shouting match or anything?
Well, when the other woman started pulling in, she got into it a little bit, and she just kept driving. It's like,
And
But
as
in
the person standing, wouldn't you move instead
I
of
was just
letting
gonna say
the
that. In
car
fairness,
run you over?
She could get out of the way.
Because I doubt she was going 30 miles an hour to pull into the spot.
So part of me wonders how bad she really was hurt because she went with back problems. A little hard to justify back.
Yeah.
It's hard to verify because they can do X-ray. And I'm not saying you don't have back problems. I'm just saying they've done X-rays and stuff with people. They're like, we can't figure out why you're hurting.
Yeah.
So it's easy to say, oh, I've got a back problem.
Yeah.
Oh, and no, I won't be able to work again.
And on some level, she deserved it.
I agree. I don't want her permanently injured.
Not permanently.
A little pain.
But just
I don't have a problem with that.
It has to be enough to deter this from happening in the
Yes,
future.
it does. Yes, it does.
Yes, I agree. So we all three say we would run over someone in a parking lot that stands in a space.
I'm not quite sure if that's what I said, but
I wouldn't.
Oh, I
want
think you
to.
said it.
somewhere there.
You implied
Hold on,
it.
look,
You
I don't-
implied it.
Nobody wants to do
Nobody but
wants to.
Sometimes.
You got to.
Sometimes.
I felt I owed it to him.
Exactly. Okay. Now let's get on to the last thing. DoorDash has made a change. And let's see what that's all about. I don't use DoorDash. Do you guys use DoorDash? Or have you ever
No.
used DoorDash? I've never used DoorDash.
We've used it. So actually, when we got home from the hospital having Evelyn, somebody had given us a DoorDash gift card that was like one day it's like, yeah, we'll just put in, we ordered a dinner. And,
I think,
and that's really,
when we were on vacation in Florida, did we order DoorDash one night? Because we really didn't know what was around, and we found a Mexican place that had, and we just ordered some
yeah.
DoorDash.
Yeah, I think we did.
But it's rare. I mean,
Yeah.
that's probably the only time I've ever done it.
Yeah, I could probably count on one hand the amount of times we've used it.
Well, they have partnered up with the company. Klarna? Yep. DoorDash is now offering Klarna payments, and fans are divided. In a related story, Dave Ramsey's head literally exploded like in Scanners, that movie, when he heard this.
I think maybe, I don't know if it was Klarna or some other one, but I got the oil changed on my car, and when I went to the payment page to pay my invoice for the oil change, and
Yep.
I had some other work done, the options were like Apple Pay, and it was something like that. You could do it on like 4 payments, or now a car, okay, maybe it's going to be a little more expensive. I don't know. DoorDash is pretty expensive, but I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, that's all right. So it says DoorDash just got cheaper, kind of. The delivery app is partnering. Let me start this over. DoorDash just got cheaper, kind of. The delivery app is partnering with Klarna, the buy now, pay later service, to offer customers the ability to finance purchases. News broke earlier this week with DoorDash executives explaining we expanded DoorDash's offerings from groceries and beauty to electronics and gifts. Flexible payment options are essential to meet our customers' needs. So what they've done is they've got 4 options now when you order DoorDash. So they have the pay in full, just pay the amount. Pay in 4 and pay later. So you can break the full amount into 4 installments and pay those 4 equal installments in interest-free installments. So you won't pay interest on those 4 installments. And then they have the pay later, which will let you defer the payments to a more convenient time, but there's interest involved.
I'd like 90 days same as cash
I wrote that
on
down.
my Chick-fil-A.
90 days same as cash. I'm going to have to start up a GoFundMe now, just so if I want to get DoorDash. Can you fund my DoorDash? So this is a giant red flag, is it not? I mean,
I would say yes.
Financing food instead of just, if you can't afford the food, do not buy. How about stay home?
How about go to the store and
Go to the
buy
grocery
it?
store.
It'll be a lot cheaper.
Yeah, I've never used DoorDash. I don't think I would ever use DoorDash.
I'm going to pay in full, but then finance the tip. 4 even payments of $3.
Well, on DoorDash, it's like, I mean, it's expensive.
It is expensive
because they add like other fees to it, if I'm not mistaken.
So Lori and I were talking tonight. Do you know, does the venue as well as you pay for that service? Do both of you pay?
Oh, I don't know.
I
don't know if the restaurants do. Or
do they not
I don't
have
know.
to
Well,
pay?
I have some answers for that. These
Good.
are all great questions.
Good,
I did
because
look that up.
we were literally talking about this
Because
tonight.
I was trying to find out. I actually installed DoorDash and tried to just see what the price would be, but it was wanting me to put a credit card in. I was like, nah.
Doug tried to order a twerk.
That was the tip. I was going to give the guy.
Oh, because you're happy.
Yes. So it says DoorDash fees can include a delivery fee, varying by restaurants and locations.
It can be.
A service fee, typically 10 to 15%, and potentially a small order fee. So here's all the different fees. They have
Jeez.
but it's not limited to these. There could be more. It says delivery fee from $1.99 to $5.99. That's not the tip. That's just what they're charging you to deliver the food. DoorDash is. There is a service fee.
Yep.
DoorDash charges a service fee, typically 10 to 15% of the subtotal, with a minimum of 60 cents. A small order fee. So if it's under a certain amount, you're going to get a fee of $2.50 just to bump that up automatically. There's, let's see, restaurant commission fees. DoorDash charges restaurants a commission fee of up to 30% on every order placed.
That's what I wondered.
And then they're just that's why if you order, a lot of times if you pick DoorDash, their prices for the restaurant go up because they're going to pass that right on to you.
Yeah.
Oh, exactly.
Other fees, DoorDash does not. Let's see, charge activation, and there says there's some other ones that it could be, but that was it. So I was trying to find an actual example of what it would be, but somebody had said like an Arby's, like if you just went to Arby's, got a sandwich, it would be like $8. If you ordered it on DoorDash, it was like $26.
Holy
Yeah.
cats.
With
Yeah.
all the fees and stuff. Now, depending
Well,
on how far out you were.
Yeah, and that's when you're even supposed to tack on a tip for your driver who shows up like an hour and a half later with your cold Arby's. Then
And
if
he's
you
probably
don't,
had his fingers in my roast beef and everything else.
and then if you don't give him a good enough tip, then he'll
Twerk on my Frosty.
they'll flip out on
I guess
you.
Frosty's a Wendy's, but but I think it's ridiculous. Just I refuse to do it. Now, again, I'm old man. That's fine. But a lot of people, younger people, will use this. this kind of plays into that. I'm not going to get into the whole thing now, but I had read another article where it was saying how Gen Z, they're not saving as much money, and they're also not buying, like they don't care about buying a house really, or they just rent, even cars, but they're spending more money on services. Like they spend a lot of money to go on vacation, or they spend a lot of their money to go, again, their money, that's what they want to do. But it was saying how more than other generations, they spend a lot of money to go to concerts or for going out to eat, stuff like that. Things that we were always told, you know what, make your own coffee at home, make your own iced tea, get you a to-go cup and pour it. And they are just not that way. They're just like, nope, I'd rather go and do all this other stuff. But they're forgoing things like a car or a nicer car, or, you know, they may just rent a car, rent a house. I don't know.
Which typically isn't that much cheaper in the long run.
No.
Without getting the equity back.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. That was all I had. I don't know
I
if
mean,
you guys
I
have anything
definitely
else to...
eat out a lot more than I ever did when I was a kid.
do
I mean, we
too.
eat out too much. But I'm not going to I'm not going to pay extra to have somebody bring it to my house.
No.
Or
I'm
my
not.
whatever. But cause it's already expensive. People are, you know, griping about these prices and stuff, and they're doing that. I mean,
Well, and that's just like having your groceries delivered too. I don't, because they're going to add on to that because they'll do groceries. I know what is it? Uber Eats does groceries and Instacart.
Yeah.
Instacart, yeah.
I don't know what their prices are. The only time I could say, like my mom's in her 70s and she still goes to the store and stuff. But if she was, let's say she got sick, but see, I just go get it. But I'm just saying, let's say person A has an elderly parent. Maybe you're not in that area. You could create an order, go to Instacart, have it delivered, and just pay to have that taken to them.
I mean, I can see
In a certain
instances.
situation.
Sure.
But it would be like a one-off for me. It wouldn't be like, oh, I'm having this done every week or something.
Yeah.
Especially now you can just do go pick it up for free. I just pull up there and pop the trunk and they put it in. Now I still have to get out. Now maybe you're kind of
I haven't even
stuck at
done
home.
that. Do you do that?
No.
Oh.
You know, maybe you're like Mike for the weekend. You can't get out of your bedroom. You
Yeah.
got to have that. You got to have an Arby's. You get on DoorDash.
No, I'm good.
I mean,
I don't know.
The grocery one, okay. There's special instances where I could see that one being helpful. Like when my other daughter had the twins. So she's got twins plus two other kids. And especially most times she would drive to the grocery store and they would bring it out to her car and put it in the back. But I think there were a couple instances where maybe her husband wasn't home or something and she ordered some stuff, they brought it to the house then.
Yeah.
So somebody's sick. I could see a use for that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, like Doug said, it's probably more of a one-off or some type of extreme situation type thing.
Yeah, I agree.
But I don't know. Again, just more old man gripe.
Yep. Doug
go
threw
to,
his hip out twerking and he needs food brought to his house.
You go to apply for a loan in like 5 years. Sorry, you're denied because you've got all this interest built up on your DoorDash.
Or you go to order
deferrals.
DoorDash and it says, well, we just ran your credit report. Sorry, you cannot get the burgers tonight.
And good news, I was pre-approved for 2 value meals or a large 2-topping pizza.
That's right.
So we're going to have a great week. It's fantastic. So, yeah, I'm not going to do it, but I'm old and cranky. So,
Crotchety.
all right, anything else? Mike?
Nope.
Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. We are the It's Funny That Makes It Okay podcast, and we are part of the Off the Tongue Podcast Network. There's several other podcasts on the Greener Grass, Gate Mansfield, Pint Pals, I think Original Copycat. Some other ones on there. Check them out too, or go just look up Off the Tongue. Google it or say, "Hey Alexa, Off the Tongue Podcast Network." I'll see if I can make her fire up. She didn't.
Trigger our Alexa.
And you can find links to our show and all the other ones on there. Give them all a listen. We hope you have a great week. Relax. Take in a deep breath. Get out there. Get your own food. Get your groceries. Stay home. Save
And
some
don't
money.
run over anybody in the parking lot.
Unless they're irritating you by saving their spot. No, we do not.
do not
we
condone.
do not condone or recommend running over people. We do understand it, but we don't recommend it or condone it. We hope you're tuning in 7 days. Until then, see ya.
Later.
Peace.